Hello, welcome. I'm Pauline from Pauline's Quilters World, and I want to share with you how we've made the woven cushion. Now, this is a great way of using up some of your stash, and we're really into using up the stashes at the moment because, oh my goodness me, over the years mine has just grown and grown and grown. If you could see my drawers, the amount of fabric I got in them, I've got to make lots of things to get rid of it all. But this is all woven. It's all strips of fabric cut on the straight grain. If you don't have scraps, fat quarters are perfect for this. We cut the fabric to whatever the width we want finished. We would choose the right appropriate size sasher tool. So if I'm going to make a 2-inch wide strip to weave it, I'm going to cut the fabric 4 inches wide. So that's what I've got here, a 4-inch wide strip of fabric. I'm going to fold it in and in to the middle, just till the edges meet. Press the start with your hot iron. Grab the tool by the handle. It doesn't matter whether it's right side up or wrong side up. Go up from the bottom, and we're going to go over that centre bar and back down. Simple as that. Then we're going to pin the end into our ironing surface, and I use the double fork pin. Pin in, get equal tension on both sides using that double pin. Just fold the ends in, hold the fabric firm, and we push the tool with the iron. Don't try and pull the tool ahead. It's not designed to do that. That's too much effort on your part. All we do is there's a curve in the sasher to fit the side of any iron. I love the mini irons. They really work well for this, but if you're just using your big iron, it'll work just as well. Iron about 12 inches, stop, remove the pin, repin, fold again and push with the iron. And you certainly won't burn your fingers. It's just so quick and easy to do. So once you get a lot of those strips ironed up, you're now ready to start your weaving. So to do that, I've used just a fat quarter of a background fabric, a bright coloured fabric. Just shift these tools. Once we've got all our designs, our strips done up, as we have here, we're just going to lay the strips out in a pleasing order. Right, just till you get them to the look that you want. And I just love these greys, just love the effect they give. So you would lay them all out, then come back with your Roxanne glue basted and put a little bit of glue underneath each end here. Once you get the glue onto there, I'll just do a little bit here to get started. Just glue it down. You don't need a lot. Keep them nice and close. Whoops. Get them all in there. Come down and do the other end. We'll just come along here. Then once you get all of that done, press that with a hot iron. That will then set the glue so that it won't move anywhere. So we'll go right across and fill up the whole fat quarter. I'll just press this end. Right, when we get that done, we're now ready to start weaving our fabrics. And all we're going to do is go under and over. So come up from underneath, go over, under, and over. And you'll just keep doing that till you get the whole piece with your woven strips on there. Of course, when you do the next one, what colour will we use? When we do the next one, we're going to start with an over and go under. And that's all you have to do. It is so quick, so simple, makes wonderful gifts. Make some placemats like this. Do lots of things. We do have the pattern for the cushion that shows you absolutely everything, how to do it step by step. Once we get all of this done, stitch around the outside edge just to hold it in place. Then come back and add some applique. In the pattern we do give you flower shapes, or we do suggest using some great fabrics that's got great prints on them. So you can see here I could get lots of flowers off these prints just by fussy cutting around, as I have here. So when I want to do applique over the top of this, turn your flower shape to the back. Once again, use your glue. Put glue all the way around, just little dots. I choose to use glue over fusible web. I just prefer working with it because it allows me to not have stiffness underneath my work when I'm finished. So I put some flowers in place. Now, once you get some flowers made out, you could glue them down first, but if you want to put some nice feature bias running through there, you wouldn't put your flowers on first, you'd make the bias first. So I'm just going to show you how we make the bias. We'll just move this to one side. Now I suggest on learning how to cut your fabric on the true bias and learning how to do a binding with a piping or a flange around it, visit our website at www.pqw.com.au or look at our YouTube channel, and we have videos up there how to cut your fabric on the true bias and how to make a binding with a flange. So here we've got a piece of fabric cut 1.5 inches wide, folded in and in till the ends meet. All our sasha tools are used the same. They're very simple to use. But it's like anything, it takes a little bit of practice to get it right. We come up and back down. Just go down through that hole. Oops, it doesn't want to go down for me. Then once again, pin with that double pin because we've got bias fabric here. If I pin with 2 separate pins, as I start to iron, the bias is going to stretch. Pinning with the double pin, it's going to put equal tension on both sides. Cup up the sides, put the iron against it, and down you go, making your bias strip. And just keep going down till you get the whole strip made. Then you might like to make a thinner strip. We'll make 1/4 inch now. This is cut 1/2 inch wide. We fold the ends in. It's a bit fiddly there, just to get that bit started at the beginning. Now when we make the 1/4 inch or the 1/8 inch bias, we need to have the folded edge facing down. When I just made this one, we have the folded edge facing up. We need to have the edge facing down with this one because we've got such a tiny fold that if it's up, it won't stay folded for you. So come up and down through that hole. Pin again with that double pin. Hold the fabric so it's nice and firm and just push with the iron. And you'll realise that bias is so easy to make using this tool. And you certainly won't burn your fingers and you'll get a perfect bias. Now, we'll just cut this piece off. Come back to our woven piece, and I'm just going to explain to you how I would put bias on here. When I put the bias down, I like to use the glue pen because it allows me to be a lot more creative than what I can be with the liquid glue, and they're so different. A lot of people ask me what's the difference between them. You know how there's a difference between male and female? That's what these are like, but I can't identify which is which here. So we would just decide where we want to put the bias, run some glue exactly where you want that bias to go, put your bias over the top and iron it in position. And being cut on the true bias, it'll sit around those tight curves really easy for you. Okay, now I just need to put a little bit more glue under this side to hold it down. There we go. Now if you want to get really creative, come back and draw a line with this glue down through the middle. And we'll put this bias over the top. I'll start at this end so you can see what I'm doing. And all we do is just iron it in place. And the glue won't stick to your iron, so it doesn't make a mess. So there we've got a nice bias down that gives you a really nice effect. So just continue being creative and create up whatever you want here. We do give you all the shapes and everything in the pattern and suggest where you put the bias and that. But I'd like to encourage you to be creative in your own mind and see what you can come up with. When we stitch all of this on, we don't have to stitch our weaving pieces down because all the applique is going to hold that in place. When I stitch all the bias down and do my raw edge applique, I have the mono poly clear thread in my bobbin and in the top. Then we don't have to worry about changing thread colour as we work through all the different shades of fabrics. So that's just a few little things that you could do using the Sasha tools, making up some weaving. Weave some placemats, weave some cushions, weave little rugs for your grandchildren. They're fun to play with, they're very textured, they're just so much fun. If you view our YouTube videos, don't forget to hit that bell because we'd like you to know every time we put a new video out there so you can learn as much as you can from us here at PQW. So enjoy, have fun, get creative and get stitching. Thanks, see you next time.